Why do we suffer at the hands of these politicians? Don't you know politicians work for you?
Hey!
You're the boss. You hire them and you fire them. Look at their campaign. You know what they do? They audition.
Yeah!
When you put them on the job, if they're not doing the job, then you fire them. Because you're in control. From the city to the state to Congress to the president. You run this. All right. You're back again with Jerry on Talk Labor. We got a lot of good, juicy stuff going on today. I had to change my whole show because we had some things come down that became very important. Like, say, for instance, I want to talk about some of the things, the crime that's going on in Chicago. And we want to talk about a little bit about what this crazy man is doing in the White House. But I had a lot of people call me up and ask me if I would dissect what's going on with the contract that they're doing at the ATUs in Chicago. And just a whole lot of things going on I think you might want to know about. So we kind of changed our format a little bit today, but I think you're going to enjoy it, though. I really think you're going to enjoy it. But I do want to start off with the White House. You know, I know you saw it today where they say that Trump tried to fire Mueller last year sometime. You know, really tried to demand that he be fired. And his lawyers refused to do it. As a matter of fact, his lawyers told him if he did it, they would quit. This man is nuts. If you don't see it now, you know, and we should stop playing these games like we don't know he's nuts. And the people that's supporting him, I'm talking about these Republicans, they're just greedy. They're murderers. They're savages. You know, I tell people a lot of times, if you don't believe me, just look at some of these Western movies, man. It tells you everything you want to know. It tells you everything you want to know. Let's go get some of the more Western movies. Before they got the Negroes, they had their own people, like the Irish. They dogged them. The Indians. You know, this was going on a long time. You don't talk about, I ain't talking about all white people. I'm talking about these savages, man. All white people are not savages. That's why you had what they called a Civil War. It was just some treasonous people that rose up against the United States and was put down by Abraham Lincoln. But you got that kind of stuff, and you got to realize that. I look at these guys get on TV and just lie to your face like you just stupid. But I saw that going on. Now, you got a group of people, got a group of the mayors that said they're not going to deal with this guy. They was holding a conference with the mayors. He was supposed to be in a conference with Trump. A lot of the big mayors walked out. New York, Chicago, L.A. They said, we're not talking with this guy because he's a damn nut. He's a damn fool. And he's got a State of the Union coming up. And you got a lot of African Americans that say, you know, representatives say they're not coming. Like John Lewis and Maxine Waters and, you know, Frederica Wilson, just a bunch of them. They said they're not coming. They're not going to be there. They said they cannot pretend like this man is, you know, any kind of way legitimate, because he's not. He's really not. But we're not going to talk a lot about that because I got a lot of things I want to talk about. I had people come up to me and ask me to take a look into what's going on at the ATUs with the contract coming up, and I told them I don't really like to get into that. That's their thing. And they talked me into it, and they said, Jerry, all we need is your opinion on it. And they went and brought me some of the things that is being done. When I looked at it, I said, well, I tell you what, I can give you my opinion, and you can take it and deal with it the way you want to. But when I saw what's going on, I'm like, I'm going to give you my opinion. You may not like it, but I'm going to tell you what I think about, you know, this contract that you guys are doing. And you're active people. I don't work for active people, but I will give you my opinion on it, okay? When I looked at it, they gave me copies of 6 pages of the contract. I said, well, where's the rest? They said, well, they won't give it to us. What do you mean they won't give it to you? Well, they say they'll mail it to us in the mail.
I said, when? They said, well, they said they didn't tell us when. They're just going to mail it to us. I said, oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. But the first thing I looked at, and this is for you all, and I'm going to give you my opinion, and, you make up your own mind about that. But I looked at the letter that was sent out by the union top officers, and it seems like they're trying to frighten you into voting for the contract. Now, if the contract is good, you don't have to do that. You just print it out. Your people are intelligent. They'll make that decision. I looked at one article in the letter that was put out, and I'm reading this verbatim. I'm not making this up now. It says, however, he says, we were at the point of interest arbitration, and the arbitrator made clear the agreement we reached should be taken to the members as he stated, we would not like the outcome if our fate was in his hands. That is nuts. Now, I've been in front of way more arbitrators than these guys. Arbitrators don't do that. First of all, they could be disbarred for saying something like that. I was told that they said that you might not get, he said you might not get your retroactive pay if he takes it over. Ain't no arbitrator gonna say that. That's nuts. And arbitrators are not going to take themselves out of money by telling you, take what CTA said and be happy with it. And if you don't, I'm going to jam you. This is what this letter is saying. I'm like, this is nuts. You don't do that to your people now because, your people are intelligent. Just give them the contract that you have. Let them dissect it. And if they have questions, let them ask you those questions, And, just be straight up and honest with you guys and the ladies, But let's do this. Let's go, we go item by item. You got 6 pages. You got 20 more pages that, I don't see. Nobody's seen yet. A lot of people say they haven't even got 6 pages. Okay. But anyway, they said that they're going to give you a 9.5% pay increase. Retroactive from 2/16, 1% 2/16, and 1 through 2/16, and then another 1% in 2016. Then 2% in 2017, and 1% in 2018, and then going forward. Okay. What I'm looking at, give them all of the facts, okay? It looks nice on here, but give them all of the facts. You talk about the retroactive pay. A lot of times, don't get sold on that because they will give you a bone or a cookie and take everything you got. I've seen it happen before. CTA has, I don't know if you guys realize this, CTA has the right to hit you with healthcare increases whenever they deem necessary. Like they hit you in 2017 for $40 a month. And then right here in 2018, January 2018, they hit you with another $41 a month. So even before you get your first pay raise or your retroactive anything, they've already hit you with $80 a month that they're taking from you. Think about that now. And then they tell you that they're going to give you a 9.5% pay increase. That's for 4 years. It's not 3 years like it normally is. It's for 4 years. Out of that 9.5%, 3% goes to, of that increase, 3% of that increase is going to go into your health care. You got to factor in all of that when you're talking about what your pay increases are. And I started to break down, and I'm going to let you do it yourself. Break down exactly what all these numbers don't mean a thing. What means something is how much money are you taking home now as opposed to how much money you were taking home 2 years ago. Measure that. You have your check stubs. Measure that. And see if that's if you're really getting a pay increase. Because I got the breakdowns here. 28 hours. What you want to do? Go 28 hours times whatever the increase is supposed to be, and you see how much you're supposed to make. See how much you're supposed to get. And people are talking about how much you're going to get retroactive pay. Remember, they're going to take 35% out on taxes, whatever it is. Then they're going to take 3% out, going into your health care. Okay? So those are some of the things you got to be kind of cognizant about when you're looking at that. And I don't have a whole lot of time to get into this, but I will if it gets to be necessary. I'm just giving you my opinion. There are some other things that you need to know about this contract that maybe you're not looking at, maybe people are not seeing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to come back and just go over item by item on the contract for you, okay? We'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and as I promised you, I'm going to go down item by item. You go to page 2 on the contract that they gave some people, and it says on July 1st, 2019, the CTA shall make a one-time payment totaling $450,000 to be divided among all employees in the 241 and 308 bargaining units. First, that's not money that's coming to you in your pocket, okay? And they left it like that in the bargaining unit. That's not money that's coming in your pocket. I think it's some kind of rebate. But let's just say it was money that was coming in your pocket. $450,000 to be divided. You got about 10,000 employees. Divide that into 450,000. You're going to come up with about $50. But looking at that big $450,000, package, you would think that's a whole lot of money there. There's a lot of other things on here, but I just want to get to a few because I got other things to do on this show. On that same page, they say the new administrator, the CTA, this is number 4 on there. New administrator. The CTA shall issue a bid for new health insurance administrators, RFP, and shall meet with the union prior to selecting and entering into a contract with a new insurance administrator. Now, they say they're going to meet with the union. But do the union have any say as to whether you take that person or not? These are the type of things I'm saying. Don't let them hoodwink you like that. If anything, it should say the union will have, right to reject. But they don't say that in here. They just say they're going to meet with the union and then they're going to go select the people. These little things they're so subtle. There's a lot of stuff in there like that. They're so subtle until, you go to sleep on it, then they're going to stick you. If you go to page 3, number 4, training. After the execution of the CBA, understand what I said now, after the execution of the CBA, the CTA agrees to meet and discuss with the union the implementation of a training program for the mechanic classification. This is after you sign the agreement. Why they can't do that? Put that in there as a part of the agreement. A part of the agreement. This is the type of thing I'm saying. They're playing little games with you. Okay? Tools. This one gets me. The CTA has agreed to make available to bus mechanics all tools necessary for them to perform their duties. Wait a minute. CTA, they're working for you. What do you mean you're gonna put in the contract, you're gonna give them the tools to work? Do you all understand where I'm going with this? They're playing you. They're playing you and they're setting you up and they're trying to find out how much they can get away with. Okay, let's go to page 4. Number 10, filling all positions. The CTA agrees to fill all red line services and mechanic position within a reasonable time. What's a reasonable time? You know, this is the game that they play. They're going to fill it in at a reasonable time. What reasonable time? You got to put dates on that. You know, you got to have that as a part of your contract that they're going to do, or leave it alone. Don't even put it in there. Okay, let's go to part-time operators' days off. Part-time operators shall have at least one day off, but the CTA shall attempt to normally give part-time operators 2 days off. CTA will attempt to give. What is that for? What is that for? There's nothing in here that's concrete. You know, if you're going to give them 2 days off, give them 2 days off. Gee. But then, let's go to page 5. We're down to 629 program. The CTA agrees to meet with union president to discuss continuation and use of 629. When? Where? You know, why are you putting this in here if you're not doing it before the contract? Once you voted in, CTA said, well, you know, whatever. 5 years from now, I'll meet with you, you know. VRD days. The CTA and union president shall meet after ratification of the contract to establish a system by which to ensure employees have the opportunity to take VRD days. VRD days, you won that in contract negotiation years ago, way back when I was president, before me. VRD means vacation random days. We took those days, we made them vacation random days. If you got 4 weeks, you could take 2. 2 weeks of vacation random days, because you never know when somebody in your family gets sick, you can take a vacation day. That's what, but now they're saying they'll meet with you after you ratify the contract, and we'll see what we can do about those days. Nuts. Another one, right here in the apprentice program. Apprentices may be assigned to assist building janitors on PM and midnight shifts, effective with each pick for the cleaning and maintenance of washrooms, work areas, and bus turnarounds, and maintaining of washrooms, lunchrooms, and work areas, and turnarounds. And those janitors who are assisted by apprentice shall receive a stipend of 50 cents per hour. No more than 2 apprentices shall be assigned to assist a janitor. This does not increase the number of apprentices. What happens is, if you do that, you're cutting into the janitor's work. You will be eliminating your janitors pretty soon. You're going to have one person doing all the jobs. You know, somebody needs to talk to somebody with some experience. Talk to some of the guys that's been there before. Because you're getting, anyway. 4, certification that bus service apprentices shall be assigned only general clean functions and removal of garbage. They are doing the janitors. They're cutting in on the janitor's work. If you want to be fair about this, put all that in there in the contract if you're going to do it. Don't say we'll do it afterwards and we'll show you the rest of the contract later on. Give it to you at what, you know, in there it says that they're going to have a meeting, I guess, to determine the vote over at the teachers union hall. Well, I'm sure they rented the hall. And I hope that's not to try to make people think that the teachers union is behind this contract. Because I know they would never give their members a contract like this. So this coupled with the fact that you got a union leader saying that the arbitrator said you better take this or you won't get any retroactive pay, and he's going to dog you, this arbitrator. Have you ever heard anything like that? Now, I've been before several arbitrators in contract negotiations and grievances and everything. Never. If you get an arbitrator that says that, you dump him and get another one. You don't. But anyway, that's the way they did it. But and people were asking me, that's on your contract. What I'm suggesting is ask those questions, make them answer the questions for you. You know, and don't think that you got to go and do this right now, because if you don't, you won't get that money. They're trying to dangle that little pork chop in front of you. You know, because they figure you'll bite into it. And I'm gonna tell you why I got a problem with that. When I saw it, I coupled that with this. Somebody told me that the president of the union at ATU Local 241 sent a memo, a question out to his members. In all fairness now, he said, this is only a question now, it's just a question. But you shouldn't even take this to your members. The question said, how many members would be willing to get rid of our defined benefit pension for a 401k? How in the hell could you even take that to your members? Don't you know CTA know that if you nibble at that, they're going to hook you, get you to try to go out there, take that $2 billion away from your members, the $2 billion that your members put up there, and give them a 401k. Just because Bernie Madoff is in jail don't mean there's not a lot of others out there. 401k is like going to the casino. You don't never know how it's going to work. You may get a lot of money and you may go broke. And you guys that are retiring now, you're not dying right after you retire. You're living a long time. Defined pension plan, no matter what, they have to honor your plan. If they have to take money out of their pocket, they got to honor that plan. That's why they want to get rid of it. That's why they're trying to sell that to it. And I know it's true because when I was president, they tried the same thing. But I told them to get lost. We didn't take it no further than the conversation. Because you don't do that. You don't do that. And when somebody told me that, I said, well, I don't believe your president said anything like that. They said, yes, he did. He's on Facebook. Why don't you take a look at the Facebook? They sent me a copy of it. He did do it. This is the same guy that was in there with the guys that caused us all these problems that we have right now when we had to go to the court. This is the same guy that was in there when now you're paying healthcare trust for it. You don't even know why. That's $3,000+ a year that's coming out of your pocket, your family's pocket. You don't even know where that money is going. Don't get me started. Got one more thing to run by you, and that's that credit card thing that they got. So I'll be right back, okay?
No, I don't know. No, I'm scared. I mean, you're so...
Life is passing by so fast. Say goodbye.
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Well, we're back. As I promised you, well, you see me go on about the contract. Just the way I am. Take it, decide what you want to do with it, but read it. Don't let them boondoggle you. And whatever your leaders are, talk to them, sit down and see. If they don't know, you all try to help them. Because this is your family, and why do I care? I got family up there. I got friends up there. And I'm kind of like, I always fall for the underdog. When I see them doing this to certain groups of people and don't do it to others, I have a problem with that. Now, on this credit card thing for the HRA. And people say, oh, we get money back. And you're not going to get any money back. This is for people that don't have the time to actually retire. And people that retire early, or people that get quit. Monies that they took out of your check for healthcare trust. They're going to put it into a escrow account and give you a little credit card until you can use it for a few things, to not to buy groceries and stuff. Use it for your, if you want to add to your copay or something like that when when you're out of there and retired. And it's just a little, whatever you put up. Say if you put up $12,000, that's what it'll be there. But you can't just take, so I'm gonna take this $12,000 and do this. Can't do that. They're not gonna let you do that. You can't buy anything. Now, that's your $12,000, and since you left the company, they should give you all of that money back. I don't know if they still do this. I hope they do. But when I was in there as president, and even before me, if you left the company and you didn't have enough time to retire, they had to give you all of your money you put up back for pension. I don't see a reason why they shouldn't give you all your money you put up back that you put in for healthcare trust. Give you your cash money back, because you put up cash money, you didn't put a card up. These are the type of things I'm talking about that should be addressed with the CTA. But it's so unbelievable until sometimes I wonder why people haven't jumped on that. Now I went and talked to the people that handle the HRA, and they explained to me exactly what happens. I said, I thought so. And you can do that too. Call. All you gotta do is call them. And I'm looking for the number on here so you can give them a call for yourself. So people running around here saying, "Oh, we get money back. We're gonna get money back on this card." You're not getting any money back. That's just a card that they give you to help spend some of your money toward some health care somewhere down the road that you might take. Yeah, go in and pull it up. You can pull it up on the CTA's pension, and pull up the HRA, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Then call that number on there and ask them, hey, can you give me information on that? Tell me what it is that I need to know about this. And they'll tell you that if you got regular retirement, you're not going to even get no cars or nothing like that. Even though they've taken your money like they did everybody else. Yep. I don't know how you want to deal with that, folks, but that's something I think that's very, very important that you need to know. And don't be afraid to ask, people about it. Just ask the lady, when you call, and she was very pleasant and explained exactly to me what's going on there. And that's for people that, that don't have the time. And I think maybe a few part-timers that they were taking money away from, So, but not for you. No. With the contract that's coming up, what you guys need to do is make them give you the entire contract that they did, and sit down and discuss that contract. And if you're happy with it, take it and run with it. If you're not, tell them you're not. But don't be afraid that the arbitrator is going to cut your fingers off if you say you don't like this contract. If you don't like it, you tell them that. No arbitrator is going to tell you you're not going to get your retroactive pay. You're going to get your retroactive pay. If you go, this is the way it works. When you sit down with management and you come to a impasse, if you come to an impasse, you go to arbitration. Arbitrator takes into account what you all have done already. And whatever the impasse is what they try to clear up. Okay? So, look into it. Don't be afraid to do it. And now, for you guys that, you senior guys, one of the reasons why I tell you, we have to have the coalition that we put together is because of things like that. When you go and you take a union leader that goes out there and say, would you consider giving up your defined pension plan for a 401k? Just question. Shouldn't be out there with that. Because it's the same guy that caused us all the problems. He's in with the group that caused us a lot of problems before. But we're going to have a meeting this Sunday with the coalition. So we're going to look for all you all to be there, and you got to be a coalition member to be there, to enter. And we got a lot to bring you up to date on. A lot to bring you up to date on. Okay? Dealing with the lawsuit, dealing with the coalition itself, and dealing with unions. Okay? We're going to make sure we stay strong. Okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to do this. I've been working with women, a lot of women, and I love what they're doing. They are creating their own business and doing a lot of good things, okay? So as we leave, I want you to take a look at this clip dealing with black business women. You're going to be surprised. We're going to see you next week at Talk Labor, and hey, you have a great, great day. We're going to see you again, okay? Talk Labor, we're here. Signing off. Talk to you later.
My motivation for starting Black Women in Business was to be able to create a community, an environment where Black women could come together and focus on their professional development.
She came in to tell me about what it was, how it was going to impact women, and she had me sold from the first few words. I'm very passionate about women. I'm very passionate about diversity, and particularly as it relates to disparity and some of how that affects women and black women in particular.
There's not a lot out there that focuses on us as amazing business leaders, as business owners, and so this is that space for us to be able to do that, to sharpen our skills, to build camaraderie, to support each other, encourage each other. And so I wanted to create a space, a community for us to be able to do that, to make genuine connections with each other and to build business relationships, personal relationships,
and more importantly, share and network on how do we navigate some of the challenges and obstacles we face that's unique to us.
A lot of times, if you go to sessions and groups, you get a very big picture perspective. And somebody comes and gives a great lecture, and that's, you kind of take it home with you and you kind of put it aside. And here it's almost sort of like being behind the curtain. You know, you're talking to people who are really in the trenches. And so you come out of there and you come out of these sessions energized and with something that's really actionable.
It's critical for me to be able to have conversations with women that I trust, who can help me and who I can help.
I'm so inspired about this organization and everything that it stands for.
When someone asks me about Black Women in Business, I encourage them to be a part of this group because there are so many women who are looking for that opportunity to connect with other women who are serious about being good leaders, who are serious about growing their businesses and being good corporate citizens. There are a lot of women who are looking for opportunities to collaborate. And so what Black Women in Business provides is that environment, that community where you can do that.
Black Women in Business connect, enrich, and celebrate.
yeah.